Oh, hi. Good evening. I forgot I had viewers. Thought I was just dancing by myself. Good evening. This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I'm Dark Match Steve, the twink, the legend. What is up, you little sluts? I don't know what it is about the chat, but for some reason, I just get a boner every time for you guys. What the fuck? And Dutch Duke, I don't know if it was during the show, but I yesterday, but you Dutch Duke threw another 25 at me yesterday. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. For real. I don't, I really do like streaming and I get into the gig. I'm sorry if let me see, because I don't remember. I think it was after I was off the stream, but I'm not exactly sure. But either way, Dutch Duke, if you're in here already, let me get to the chat so I can see. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Again, I'll be able to get the more premium version and pay for a year or something so I can stream more places. We can do Rumble and Twitch at the same time, maybe throw in an Instagram or something. I don't know. But what's up, chat? Let me say hello to the chat, then we'll get to our topic for the evening. Bob Cook. Well. Look who's first. Bob Cook, the man himself. What's up, sir? Thank you for being first. I don't know where Fat Pig is. My lover, Fat Pig, but it's okay. Airplane Willie up. Good evening, Mr. Cook. I was first a few times. It wasn't worth it. Hey, it is worth it. I owe you a prostate milking. So that when you get that, I mean, that's an IOU. That's worth something. Hats off, Supermark forever and always. Joe the Supermark was here. Is this one of your accounts, or is this one of the accounts that is, a Holyoke Joe supporter, aka another Holyoke Joe's account? I don't know. Dutch Duke, he is in here. What's up, Dutch Duke? Thank you, sir, for the 25. I appreciate it. $25 on the PayPal. Yeah, if anyone's interested in supporting the show financially, of course, main thing is I need your clicks. I'm trying to build my YouTube back up, and I'm trying to, whatever. I'm trying to get a little trending here. Hold on. We got a scam call. Pause everything. Hello? Hello?
Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm calling you on the behalf of Financial Solutions for Seniors. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. How about you?
Well, I'm just calling to let you know about a new state-approved final expense insurance plan, which covers the cost of your funeral, burial, or cremation expenses. And also you can leave some money for your loved ones. Are you between the age of 40 and 80?
Oh, wow. I get to leave money for my loved ones?
And I hope so you do make your own financial decisions.
What?
Great. I'm just going to quickly connect you with a product specialist right away. Please hold on.
Yeah, thanks for holding on the line. This is Amber from Final Expense Department. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you so much for asking me. Well, your call is just transferred over to me, and my job is to quickly verify some basic information. Just to make sure that we are on the same page, today on this phone call, we are going to help you cover not only the rising cost of the funeral expenses and medical bills, but also to protect your family from any kind of financial burden that you may leave by providing you fixed coverage with affordable monthly premium. So, just to make sure that you qualify for a plan, may I know how old are you? What's your age?
This is for funeral expenses?
Yeah, this call is about the final expense whole life insurance plan that are designed to cover 100% cost of a funeral expenses like cremation, burial, or leaving some cremation or burial or funeral expenses. May I know what's your age?
Oh, well, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to be dead, so I don't really care what happens to my body. I don't care what they do with it.
Well, I do understand that, but You need to understand that when someone dies, it's not only about having burial or funeral expenses. They must have some debts or obligations or last-minute medical bills that may leave over. So, or if you want to leave something for your family, that also needs to be covered. So, may I know what's your age?
Well, I won't care about my family because I'll be dead, so it won't matter, right?
And what about your family?
Well, I'll be dead, so I don't care. I mean, I care about them now. I love my family while I'm alive.
They're going to suffer if you die.
Yeah, but I can't do anything about them suffering. I'm dead.
Hey, then no problem. Have a blessed day.
Wait. Oh, damn it. She hung up. That got dark. That got dark real quick. Okay, we weren't done saying hi to the chat. Dutch Duke up in here. Thank you, sir, for the 25. Yesterday. Hats off up in here. Thank you, hats off. He can couldn't even beat Owen Schroyer. Oh, you're talking about Destiny? Yeah. Oh, Destiny is a huge cut. Easy on Look, we're reviewing Destiny stuff because I'm a fan of him, but I think he does get some stuff wrong. Grouper Lips is up in here. What's up, Grouper Lips? Tina, Bub Army Mom up in here. Airplane Willie. I'm not going to acknowledge those other messages because I don't give a fuck. I don't know why other people are live during my show, during my time slot. I'll change time slots if I have to. That's fine. Oh, congratulations. Your daughter's getting married tomorrow? Bub Army Mom, congratulations. That's cool. Johnny Fradley, what's up? Johnny Fradley up in the chat. These are my usual lovers here. Thank you all. Thank you guys for hanging. Lenny, what's up? What's up? Yeah, it can be hard to find dresses. All right, I think I acknowledge everyone that's up in here. Oh yeah. All right, let's get to it. Yeah, guys, tonight I pretty much have to be off at like 9:00. This ain't a drill. I got to get off early tonight. And yes, a lot of idiots pay money over the phone. These crazy stories of elderly people buying gift cards, all the effing things. Yeah, so yeah, it's fucking weird with the scam calls I get. I get a particular kind of scam calls where I don't think they at any part of the script that they're going to ask me for credit card information or anything weird that they could get money directly from me. This company, if you guys heard that call was for funeral expenses, okay? It's not final expense insurance, whatever. A lot of the calls I get are for healthcare. They say they're with the ACA, Affordable Care Act, Affordable Care Services, trying to get me signed up for affordable care. There's a couple other ones that I can't remember them off the top of my head, but the whole thing, every time I get these calls, what they do is they fucking just ask me for the same information, whether it's the affordable care, the funeral expense. There's like a third one I get a lot, and I can't fucking remember right now, but it's like, oh, solar. Oh, here we go. We got another scam call. Hold on. Hello. Hello.
Hey, Amelia here. I am calling to help you get the newly added Medicare benefits in this annual enrollment 2025. It includes free medication, prescription coverage, food cards, and cash back of up to $250. So do you have Medicare Part A and B?
The government, they pay for my doctor.
Sorry, you don't seem to qualify for the benefit plans I have. Have a good day.
Hey, wait. It's because when I do the retarded voice, they get off the fucking call as quick as they can, because every time I do that one, I keep them on as long as I can. When I play the retard, I keep them on a long time. They've gotten mad at me before where they're just like, bro, this one time I got him with the retard character and he just kept telling me to suck his dick. Like, it was the most insulting thing that he could come up with. Little did he know where my mouth's been, but he just kept telling me to suck his dick. And I just like kept talking like retarded. I don't even remember what I was saying. I just kept talking. And he was just going, suck my dick, hey, suck my dick. I just kept talking like I didn't understand. Where was I? What the fuck was I even talking about? God damn it. I was talking about the scam calls. So, yeah, these the calls I get, they keep it's like 3 or 4 varieties of like companies that call me, and whatever it's for, they ask me my age and my zip code. It's like they're some kind of scam company that sells your information. They build like a profile for you and sell information, something like that. It works something like that. I don't know exactly. But Lenny, thank you. I appreciate it. Look, I mean, this is granted, it's volunteer work I do with the scam calls, but it's a full-time job for me. Okay. Yeah, I like talking to them. Sometimes I've taken the calls and I'm dying laughing by the end of it, just fucking dying. So I figure I should share some of that with you. All right, let me go ahead before it gets too late. We're going to pull up this conversation. Now, the interesting thing with this Destiny conversation, this is really, it's kind of weird. Oh, hold on one. Stupid fucking commercial. Yeah, fucking. So it is funny. I guess Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel Prime Minister, has warrants issued by the ICC, International Court of Justice, or International Criminal Court, or the ICJ. He's gotten. He's actually getting. They have a warrant for his arrest for genocide. Bro, all the fucking people that are just like simping for Israel, I don't think they really think it's like I don't know what they think. I don't know, but it's look, guys, you got to be careful with your reputation there. The country is literally being charged with genocide. Okay, let me back this up. I'll screen share real quick. So this is I don't even know who this guy is. This is Vice or something. Destiny 1-on-1. Shane Smith is this other guy. Shane Smith has questions. So this is with Vice News. Yeah, so Destiny fuck, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I don't, just as a side note, it seems like I think Destiny isn't quite trending as much. You know, before and leading up to the election, I mean, I peripherally paid attention to, you know, the amount of views some of his videos would get. Pretty much anytime I came across a Destiny video, it already had 100-some thousand views. And I feel like his views have been going down a little bit. And I know, at least with David Pakman, openly discussed this. David Pakman, and in case y'all aren't familiar, some of the people on my stream should be, because on election night, well, I've reviewed some of his debate between fucking Destiny and what the fuck was that other guy's name? They were on Pakman's show, so you guys should be somewhat familiar with him. But anyway, he was streaming the night of the debate too. He's a Democrat, and he was one of the people that were crying about Trump winning during the night. And but yeah, after the election, Pakman was complaining about hemorrhaging followers and subscriptions and views and all that. I kind of think, guys, I don't know exactly. Maybe the Young Turks and Destiny have too strong of a following to where it doesn't affect them as much. That's possible. But anyway, we know some of these lefties have taken a hit. And just the fact that Trump won the election has sort of chipped away at their credibility. And that's part of what I didn't want their credibility, lessened, and I don't want them to not trend as much or something. I don't wish anything bad upon these, the lefties that were anti-Trump, but that's what I was talking about. It makes sense that people are unfollowing them and shit because, guys, the night of the debate, I was telling you, these guys, the 3 or 4 Democrat streamers that I was showing you, I was telling you, even if we lost the night of the debate, even if Trump lost, it was like such a refreshing sight to witness these Democrat streamers shitting their pants in real time. The only reason is because they've been so cocky all leading up to the election, so cocky that if you're a Trump supporter, you're wasting your time, you're stupid, you've lost touch with the pulse of the country, and everyone likes Kamala Harris, and look how many people showed up to the DNC, even though we did a bait and switch with fucking Beyonce supposedly going to be there, and then she didn't show up. Okay, we know the story. They were drinking their own fucking Kool-Aid, and I think this has been part of the thing where part of the reasoning behind people unfollowing and stuff. Guys, they had it in the bag. They thought they had it in the bag, and it just did not work out well for them. So this is just like, I feel like this is why some of these lefties are hemorrhaging. If there were some Democrat that was not a streamer, that wasn't as full-fledged, drinking the Kamala Kool-Aid, thinking that Trump had no chance, I could see them not being as affected as much. But when Destiny is basically had been for months and months sitting there like Trump is going to lose, this is going to be the most embarrassing election in history for the fucking Republicans, and they fucking lost. I got another scam call. Let's take it. Hold on. Hello?
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 Hi, this is Betty. How have you been?
Since when?
I'm calling to let you know that the government is giving a subsidy to pay your bills without any cost to you. I just have to check a couple things to confirm your eligibility. May I know if you already have any government or state-provided health coverage like Medicaid or Medicare?
What kind of benefits do I get?
Well, our benefits specialist is on the line who will help you get the best benefits in your area. I am here to verify your basic eligibility. Do you currently have any Medicare or Medicaid?
Can I talk to the benefits specialist?
Okay. We have licensed agents and benefits specialists on the line who will help you with all details, and it won't take much time. I am just here to make sure that you are eligible for the new updates. Can you confirm if you currently have Medicaid or Medicare?
I'll confirm all that. Just let me talk to the specialist.
All right, well, I apologize. I will just put your number in our do not call list. Thank
No
you.
way. I need it. I need benefits. Just trying to get to a real person, like a real person. Okay. AB. I get scam calls all the time. So I take the scam calls on the stream. That's what that was. It wasn't a crank call. At least I don't I don't think so. I don't think this could be someone pranking me, pretending they're various Indian people. Okay, let's pull this back up. So anyway, yeah, well, I talked about the credibility and all that shit. These guys acted a little too confident and made predictions about Trump losing and this and that. So I think it's kind of fucked up their credibility a little bit. I think this conversation, if people were paying attention, should do even worse for Destiny's credibility. Now, I don't see anything about it in here. Let me hold on one second. Shane sits down with Destiny internet personality, live streamer, political commentator. They discuss Destiny's viral debates with public figures and his approach to political discussion, why people are susceptible to various theories, lack of trust in our system, the validity of the dead internet theory, polarization, state-sponsored disinformation, statistical misinterpretation, and how people view the past as better than it actually was. So nothing in here about what I'm going to say, but this is the weird thing. This was released 2 days ago. Right? What's the date? Yeah, 2 days ago. This was released 2 days ago. The weird thing is, and I don't know why, because maybe I wasn't watching for this whole thing. I was playing it while I was doing some work, and so I don't know if there were any obvious visual cues that this was edited, but when listening to this conversation, it wasn't obvious that this was edited. So that what I'm getting at is I don't understand why it was only released 2 days ago. If you listen to and I encourage you, go watch this whole thing. We're not going to watch the whole thing. There's just a segment, a good 45 minutes or so that we're gonna pay attention to. But yeah, go watch the full thing, give them their click and whatever, hit the like button for them since, we're stealing content. No, but the interesting thing is if you listen to this whole conversation, you can tell in the context of everything they're saying, this conversation took place weeks ago. This conversation took place like a month ago. This was like, in this talk, Destiny tells this guy, oh yeah, I did a thing with Jubilee, and he sounds surprised and this and that, and like it sounds like the way he's saying it, the Jubilee thing hadn't come out yet. So this is a while ago. So I don't know why it took so long to get released. What is interesting about this getting released just now and having been filmed weeks ago, maybe a month ago, is that Destiny says a few things in here that are provably false now, which is just really funny. This interview aged so badly that it was discredited before it was even released. Are you getting what I'm pointing out here? Go watch the full thing. I encourage you, because it's weird. I don't know why this is like, I almost feel like, I don't even know if the election, I guess the election had happened. So I guess it was within a couple weeks. But anyway, there's some things he says in here that have been proven false. And again, this doesn't lend anything to his credibility. Again, full disclosure here, I am and not that you're going to see any bias to this, but I'm a fan of Destiny. I'm not doing this out of hate or spite or fucking anger or whatever. I'm doing this because I do think Destiny is smart, but I think he gets some things wrong. People have, certain patterns of thinking and whatever the fuck. But anyway, let's get into this. AB is all up in here. Bro, you're legit. Thank you. That's a legend move. I like to counter sale them. Dude, sometimes they call and I just pretend I have a fridge for sale and stuff. And it's so good. Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. If y'all can, if you wouldn't mind, hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I got deleted a couple years ago. I talk about it too much because I'm still fucking angry about it. But we're streaming now. We're trying to we're trying to build back better and make my stream great again. So let's do it. Please help me. Please, God, this is a cry for help. Okay, let's get into this because they start. I think it starts getting interesting about here. They start to talk about conspiracies. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and they'll sometimes people will like. There's a lot of successful people I've spoken to who will say things like, "Yeah, I don't know. I started stand up, or I started this, and I think that you just got to go out there and kind of like be yourself and try to be like the funniest version of yourself that you can be." But these people aren't aware that like you're naturally you're very, very, very funny.
Mhm.
Like not every. It's like when you're trying to give advice to a guy who's 30 years old and a virgin, and you're like, "Bro, just go out there, talk to the girl, be natural, you'll be fine."
Yeah.
But like your natural self might be really charismatic, witty, charming,
Sure.
funny. His ordinary self is not that.
Yes.
So yeah, I feel like a lot of successful people don't have a good time accounting for their success all the time. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So to go back to conspiracy theories becoming now, it's interesting because a lot of the conspiracy theories that we thought were conspiracy theories are now turning out not to be conspiracy theories. Not all of them, but some of them.
Okay. I super disagree with that, but we get into
Really?
that. Yeah.
Well, good. Let's.
Destiny super disagrees with that. Let's see what part he disagrees with. Can y'all hear this okay? Sniz, are you mad? Not this. Look, we're gonna fact check some stuff here, okay? This is just interesting. The reason we're watching this is because for some reason Vice delayed releasing this. I don't understand why, but some things have been turned out to be provably false. What he's getting into here, claims he makes. So this interview is kind of served as a time capsule, just getting released now and showing all of what the fuck is like discredited with what statements he's made.
So let's get into, because I'm sort of naturally an anti-conspiracy theory person, and I've been doing the news for 30 years, 20 years professionally, I guess. Yeah, 30 years. And generally it's the boring answer. I've been to excuse me, so-called like Illuminati events, and where you have the big policy makers, senators and cabinet members meeting with the richest people and the biggest businesses, and they get together and they figure shit out. There's no chicken blood, there's no Satan worship, there's no whatever, but I mean they get together.
This guy thinks that they're gonna do the Satan worship and chicken sacrifices in front of him. This guy from Vice thinks that they're gonna, and maybe they did and he's not telling us. Do you ever think about that? No, so yeah, why would they do that in front of you? I don't know what makes you think. You went to some Illuminati meeting and that disproves that they're not. Hillary Clinton sent a goddamn email to Huma Abedin saying, with a little luck and the old rabbit's foot out of the attic, I'll be sacrificing a chicken to Moloch tonight. That is almost exactly a direct quote from an email sent by Hillary Rottenham Clinton. Okay? Why is she even talking about Moloch in an email? All right, let's move on. I'm starting and stopping too much already.
Yeah, I mean, they have comedians do comedian, they have celebrity chefs and all this stuff. But a lot of this conspiracy theory stuff is coming out, and the liberals tend to think, okay, we're more educated. We live in New York and LA. We don't believe this fucking bullshit. And the right wing is sort of like, well, we know the truth because through talk radio or social media or what have you, we've like, it's like the Plato's cave. Like, we've freed ourselves from the chains and we've walked through the flames, and now we see the truth, and we see it all because we have the real story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yellow.
Hello?
Yellow.
Hello, I'm Nora. I'm calling to let you know that this enrollment period, you could enjoy fantastic free benefits like food cards, flex cards, free meds, and up to $250 cash back with your Medicare plan. So do you have Medicare Part A and B?
What do you mean it's free? Who's paying for it?
It's completely free of cost for people like you who qualify. Just give me a moment to connect you to the agent.
Thank you. Yellow. I think they're watching the stream. I think they're just gonna hang up. I'm not sure. They're still on there though. But I've never been on hold this long. Yellow. Are you there? Yellow. Scott Starbird, what's up? I ended the call. I don't have time for that tonight. Normal night, I would sit there for 10 fucking minutes. They'll call back. Okay, let's get back to it. Scott Starbird, what's up, Famalam? I didn't sign up for nothing. Government gave my number out because they don't like how I vote.
The problem is a lot of the stuff that seemed to be bullshit is not necessarily bullshit. And you want to debate me on that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Okay, it's like so go.
So I think there's a lot at play here when it comes to there's so much psychology at play. So this is like a thing that will happen.
Mhm.
There'll be COVID. Okay, there'll be a thing like COVID, and then in the mainstream for, I'll say, conspiratorial stuff, there will be a ton of crazy claims that come out. Or I'll just say a ton of claims that come out, all the way from Fauci is a billionaire funding gain of function research in a lab in Wuhan, to China is creating and engineering a virus to come and attack us, to it was intentionally leaked from a lab, all the way to maybe there was legitimate research happening in a lab where this virus maybe got out from.
Jump to protocol.
Yeah, maybe, sure. And what'll happen is as the years go on, all of these theories that were very mainstream will fade away, and people will find like the one thing that maybe has a degree of truth to it, and they're like, oh, look, the conspiracy theorists were right. And it's like, hold on, we can go back in time and watch the media. This was not the claim that you guys wanted to hang your hat on, was that potentially there was a protocol violation and the virus got out. It was the bioweapon angle. I watched a lot of podcasts where people were talking about like this intentional crafting of like the super deadly virus or whatever. But
So this is one of the tactics of debunkers, people that are debunking stuff. This is one of the tactics is you say the wildest claim, the most insane, wildest. Destiny's acting like, well, you'll see there's more claims I think that he discusses here. But this is a common tactic. Anytime someone is debunking something, they give the most crazy claim and interpretation of the claim from a conspiracy theorist, and they say, oh, look how that's not true. But they're saying, like, I don't even know, I'm not as familiar with lab leak theories and everything. I didn't pay as much attention with that. I feel like that's a lot more difficult to really know what the fuck happened, and you have to trust different sources and whatever. Regardless, I'm not hanging my hat on any claim about the lab leak and stuff, but he does there are more claims coming up, so I'll show you. But they represent the debunkers. They will put out, they'll say, oh, look at what the conspiracy theorist said, and they will quote the craziest person with the like most outlandish claim that no one signed on to being actual truth for sure. It's just a theory that's thrown out there. Okay? No one is saying for sure we know that it is a bioweapon intentionally made and released upon the public on purpose. I've never made that claim. People say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I never said anything like that. Okay? Well, we'll move on because he talks about other claims, and I did make some claims in the realm of side effects. Okay, so let's get to it. But I'm letting you guys be aware here, just so you pay attention, when he's like, the professor that I'm going to do a debunk of a debunk, that professor, I mentioned it the other night, that I got to take some more time to lay out my arguments for this. This guy would never debate me. I'm such a small channel. It's a huge fucking channel that I'm reviewing one of his videos talking about something. But this guy does the same thing. Any of these people that claim to be debunking Visaxizine, conspiracies, thesaurus, anyone that's claiming to be debunking that, they will show you the craziest claims because they know people have died from it. Okay, so they will say, oh, you guys said everyone would be dead, but it's just a few of us are dead. Don't you look silly?
Will say, even for the COVID lab stuff, as we come to today and you look at the research, there still hasn't been any good, like all of the early, I think there were 1 or 2 studies that were published early that theorized it could have come from the lab. Like none of that research has panned out. And there's still no good reason to think it came from a lab. Could it have? Maybe. But more and more, it just kind of points to the market.
Yeah, that's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I get that. This is why I'm not a great debater.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
fine.
I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm a bit of an this is so interesting. What I'm talking about, and so I don't know if you heard us, but so we're doing a thing on COVID. And like, you know, one of the things you have to do is you have to double check everyone's bona fides. You have to get in, you have to fact checking all this stuff.
Yeah.
The reason why I find myself sort of drawn into this stuff, for example, not where it came from, because, okay, it came from where it came from, is there was a big, I think, you know, so I was a pro-vaxxer. I was like, got my kids vaccinated, everyone's vaccinated. And you know, there was a lot of propaganda. It was government propaganda. I understand why, because you're like, look, we have to get people vaccinated. We didn't know the severity of this thing. And I was just talking about Fauci. I interviewed Fauci. I actually did a show called Shelter in Place because it was like, what's real, what's not real. There's a lot of misinformation. So, you know, let's try to get the information. And I understand, like, it's very complex, and there are, and the vaccines were rushed, et cetera, et cetera. But I was just talking about Fauci's testimony before Congress, and I'm like, hold on. What? They're like, well, you know, maybe, yeah, you know, there has been an uptick in heart attacks. Oh, well, you know, and there's these rare things, and this is happening, and it could be bad for this, and it is bad for this, and you're like, hold on, we can go back to when I interviewed you. And that was not said in the beginning. And I think because of this, there's a fallout, and the fallout is now anti-vaxxers were, let's say, 5% of the population. And now, let's say it's Ebola comes along, you're going to have 50% of the population who aren't going to take a vaccine because it was mismanaged. And the problem.
Yeah, see, you know what? And I agree with what he's saying. It's fucked up. It's fucked up that we can't trust these governmental health agencies. It's fucked up that we can't trust them. I don't take joy in being like, oh, I have to question every single thing the FDA or CDC says from now on. I can't just like listen to them give a recommendation and go like, oh, well, they're smarter than me, so I can't do that. That's your fault. That's your fault. You guys withheld data. How are we some kind of any conspiracy theorists? We have facts. You withheld data. You fucking lied to people. And here we are. God forbid some virus with a 90% kill rate comes along, and these fucking sheep are going to be the one that stay alive for a few more years until the fucking COVID vaccine kicks in. It's fucked up, but you have yourselves to blame, government agencies. It's not the stupidity of the average citizen. It's your fucking fault.
Propaganda was so strong and polarizing, and it turns out, and I get it was complex and we were running fast, but we were lied to, and we're now finding out that a lot of that was covered up. And that's government testimony. That's Fauci's testimony. That's the Senate. That's the Surgeon General of America. And I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I started digging in because I'm like,
CDC admitted they withheld data on boosters for 18 to 49-year-olds. Why? Because it showed it didn't help. It didn't increase immunity. So they told those people to get it anyway. Did some of them have side effects and possibly die? Myocarditis? All this fucking... Yes! Yes, because you fucking lied. That's not informed consent.
Like, hold on a second. I was part of the fucking media saying, yeah, get fucking vaccinated, you know. And then now you're like, hold on. Now everybody's saying that all this shit, you know, is happening. And I've had friends who've had heart attacks. There's a certain kind of genetic disorder that was exacerbated by it. And you're like, hold on a second, you know. And
a certain genetic disorder that is exacerbated by the you know, the injections. Imagine that, guys. Oh, safe and effective. Who's the conspiracy theorist now? You guys said safe and effective. You said safe and effective. Not us. We didn't say everyone's going to die. That I never said that. So far, I'm scoring 10 out of 10. I have not made one false prediction about this shit. I haven't crossed the line with some extremist type of theories. I've been very cool and collected and treading lightly with what I say about this shit. And you guys said safe and effective. You did. It was neither of those things. So who was more right? Who? You Destiny? No, I beat you in this one. I win. People died. People have fucked up medical conditions now. And you said it was okay and encouraged people. How fucking irresponsible do you have to be to encourage people to have some kind of medical intervention when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? That is disgraceful. And I say this as a fan of Destiny and anyone else that I'm not a fan of anyone else that probably said this, but you know what I'm saying. For anyone else that's recommending medical intervention and you don't know shit about the data, you don't even know what is real data when it's shown to you, you don't fucking know what the fuck you're looking at, they're withholding shit, you don't know what's going on, and you're telling people to fucking get it. Disgusting. And you should be called out for it. As much as Destiny wants to shame Jan Sixers, you deserve to be shamed. That is completely ridiculous. What? I've said this before on stream. What the fuck other medication, what other drug in the whole wide fucking miserable world is safe but also effective? Things don't work like that. That's not how things work. If a drug is effective, meaning it has a strong effect and it will affect most people, that means it's dangerous. That's how medicine works. That's how drugs work, guys. Hello? I'm a fucking idiot, gay stoner, and I know all of this from my stupid bedroom, looking at stuff on a broken phone, and I know more about medicine than you? What? How dare you be so irresponsible?
so I feel duped.
I promise to promote the Irish
You should feel duped.
Republican Army to the best of my ability.
You're not to tell anyone.
This movie, whatever this is, looks like it sucks. FX Network, fuck you.
Understood?
Hulu?
Being part of the largest
Hulu, I don't have it.
automotive retailer in Florida and family owned and operated means Volkswagen of North Tampa has the selection you.
Okay.
Go.
Whew, okay. I talked before about this foundational issue with like truth seeking, that we're not naturally truth seeking
Yeah.
people, right? So here's a second foundational thing that I wish we could all start with. And
Yeah.
because we don't start here, it destroys the conversations. Okay. Sometimes people can make mistakes, but in today's media landscape, nobody makes mistakes. It's always a conspiracy. And when I say
Right,
conspiracy,
that's
I don't
the
mean
point.
conspiracy, but like there's like a plot to like destroy the country, right?
Yeah.
So I would never sit here and say nobody got anything wrong about lockdowns, about school lockdowns, about, you know, vaccines, whatever. I'm not going to say that nobody got anything wrong. But what I don't like is that when the other side starts with the foundation.
Because you got it wrong. You can't say that because you know you were wrong. But here we go. He's going to say, oh, any mistake, any little thing that happens, it turns into a big conspiracy and da-da-da. Guys, I never said for sure any of this shit was on purpose. I've entertained the idea, I'm sure, somewhere. I've tweeted or said something about whatever. I've never said definitively that this is a purposeful thing and it's depopulation plans and whatever. I've never, unironically, seriously said anything like that.
Of they lied to us intentionally to put microchips on us to fuck us over, whatever.
Right.
Well, now
They lied to us intentionally. They did. He has to throw in. This is what I'm saying. When someone is debunking some conspiracy thing, they will throw in the worst version of the conspiracy, the most outlandish. Which I think the jury's still out on the microchip thing. I never claimed that though. I've just said they're saying it's safe and effective. They're gonna inject billions of people with this. Don't you think that that's risky? The entire human population you plan on hitting with one of these fucking jabs, and it's mind-blowing. So anyway, he says, oh, the crazy conspiracy theorists, they said that the government intentionally lied, so they could put microchips in. No, they intentionally lied. That is true. You can look this up, guys. CDC withheld data. They lied saying that the boosters were going to help with immunity, and it didn't for 18 to 49-year-olds. They admit that they lied. This isn't a conspiracy, Destiny. Catch up. Well, I know you know that they lied, but you're just going to say that, oh, well, the crazy conspiracy theorists think they lied so they could get injected with fucking microchips. And yeah, bro, he's doing so much work by adding in the crazy bullshit at the end. They lied to us about the data. They have lost our trust. That is not some artifact of people being crazy conspiracy theorists. That's called being a fucking logical human being. That's called having a working brain. Can you smell the smell of shit? Okay, well, you might pick up on this too.
Oh, when we start the conversation over there, this is something that I think is a crime relating to the COVID era, is we never got to have good conversations about what should a vaccine mandate look like? What should the appropriate level of testing look like? What should lockdowns look like? Like, were some of these too far, not far enough? Because instead it's, well, did Fauci become a billionaire when he was
became politicized?
I don't even like to say politicized, but it's just when the foundational motivational assumptions start off.
I should have done this on Rumble because you know what? I don't think this is going to help with my numbers on YouTube.
So corrupt. Now you have to waste so much time arguing over like.
See, I've never even heard that Fauci became a billionaire.
Oh, that was one of the big ones. He was invested in all these companies and he intentionally lied.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Sure, but I will say that like.
I wonder why theories came up about this, guys. This is really playing fast and loose here, Destiny. I wonder why people came up with theories about this. Maybe it's because Congress asked him to disclose his investments and biases with these companies, and they showed that like all these fucking people had investments in it, and Fauci wouldn't disclose who and if he did or whatever. You guys remember that little debacle? He was testifying in front of fucking Congress, and Rand Paul was chewing him out for it.
Like, and here's another issue too, is people will point to times where a big one was over masks in the beginning. Well, I think they did admit, they were like, well, we didn't want people to buy up all the N95s and we weren't really sure, so we just told people to buy normal ones. It's like, okay, well.
Blummels, what's up, Blummels? I just saw you in here. What's up, bro? Fucking, OOG7. What's up? Thanks, family. If anybody's new in here, please hit the subscribe and the like button. That helped me a lot. I'm on here 5 nights a week, bare minimum, lovers, around this time, every night. Oh, yeah. Dark Match Steve, Dark Times.
Maybe we shouldn't have done that. They can make mistakes like that. Or sometimes, that was a dumb lie. He shouldn't have said that. They will make mistakes. But then people will say, well, you fucked up. And then they'll go to the alternative media landscape. And the reality is, and I will die on this hill to any person, epidemiologist, whoever wants to debate this, virologist, whatever, almost every single conspiracy about the vaccines was dead wrong. The mass injuries never happened. The mass myocarditis, pericarditis, heart problems, the mass death events, all of these things, none of that happened.
See, here we are again. The mass deaths, the mass this, the Mr. Borelli, show me, if you can actually show me, well, specifically, I'd love if someone could debunk me. Go find some fucking tweet or some stupid bullshit I said that wasn't right. I have never defended. This is the thing where Destiny, and I think he knows this. I don't have my ear to the ground for every single fucking weirdo conspiracy alternative media outlet, okay? So I don't know what all these fucking people have said. There may be some people that are like, we know for sure that this is for depopulation and they want to inject all the black people first. This is a eugenic program and it's going to kill everybody off by the year 2025. There's probably someone that said that. The majority of the people, and I know he's referring to Joe Rogan some with this and whatever. I don't know of any conspiracy page that I use as some outlet to get interesting information or alternative theories about stuff. I don't know any of those sources that I have used that speak definitively on this stuff. This is the difference, Destiny. This is the difference. These are alternative media outlets that are throwing ideas out there and trying to piece things together. I haven't seen anyone, Joe Rogan, fucking Eric or Brett Weinstein, Dr. Malone, or fucking the other guy, any of the doctors that went on Rogan's podcast, any of the people that have spoken out about some of this shit with any credibility or seeming credibility, I haven't seen any of them definitively saying, if you get this, you will die for sure. For sure, this is for depopulation. Da-da-da-da-da. That is you guys who said, for sure, this is safe and effective. For sure, you're a fucking retard and a piece of shit if you don't go get it. If you don't get the vaccine, you are the cause of the pandemic. This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated, okay? That was you guys. You people were speaking definitively. I was very careful. I did a whole episode on my pre-recorded podcast that I did years ago. It's on Spotify. Look for Dark Times with Dark Matt Steve on Spotify. It was like episode 2, I think, where I talked about vaccine shit. I know there's a couple things I got wrong in there, and I spoke a little bit hyperbolic in a few segments of that. But I never said definitively that we know something that we don't actually fucking know. That has been you guys. That has been you. That's not a fair comparison to talk to compare what alternative media who are trying to piece together something on their own, compare that to medical authorities within the government lying to you. Don't you think like that's completely unfair? You expect for some 3-letter agency to be recommending medical treatments, you expect them to have credibility fully and to be responsible for what the fuck they say. Not some fucking tinfoil hat wearing idiot schizophrenic that has their own show like me, okay? You don't expect someone like me to have the same level of credibility and trust as someone from the CDC, right, Destiny? Right? Yes, it's not a fair comparison. This is a bullshit comparison.
And everybody that was pushing that, your Tim Pools, your Robert Malones, your all the people that Joe Rogan, all these people that were pushing that, none of this turned out to be true. But nobody looks at them and go, oh, I don't think I'm going to trust that guy anymore because he was wrong about almost everything. They'll look at the one thing that he was like on the outer perimeter kind of right on, like, well, this guy said this and the mainstream missed this. And the standard of proof or like the expectation.
Robert Malone and Joe Rogan are not medical authorities that work within our government. They are not expected to be as correct about shit. This might sound like a cop-out, but this is you're not expecting to grade Joe Rogan the same way that you grade fucking Dr. Fauci. That is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous idea. Joe Rogan's allowed to be wrong. He never told anybody to not get it because it's going to be used as a depopulation program. He didn't say that. I would love to, for real, I would love to like watch a Robert Malone or one of those podcasts that Destiny has such a problem with. I would love to watch that and compare that to all the bullshit lies we were fed by authority figures.
For being correct is so lopsided that I'm like, no way. This can't be the case that this guy was right about maybe this one thing. Now you trust everything he says implicitly. He was wrong about so many other things.
Yeah. So first of all, I didn't invite you on to debate because
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm seriously, I love just asking questions. But I see why you're the left's champion.
Sure.
You're my gladiator. But so I'm just asking. Myocarditis is that's been proven that you're saying no.
Myocarditis. So there's two things to understand.
Hold on. Let's see Destiny explain away people having medical conditions because of something they claimed was safe and effective. Let's watch this. Let's watch this magic happen.
So firstly, myocarditis is a side effect of the vaccine.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Wow, really? What? There are side effects? Oh my God. I wish the government would have told us before we got injected. Crazy people like me warning you that something might happen. I'm such a piece of shit. I am so fucking stupid.
In almost every single age group, except for maybe young men, it doesn't happen as much as it would if you would have gotten infected with COVID.
Guys, remember, Sanjay Gupta went on Joe Rogan's podcast. Sanjay Gupta cited a study about myocarditis for 18 to 49-year-olds, and it showed that more people were hospitalized from myocarditis related to the vaccine than were hospitalized for any symptom from having COVID. 18 to 49. Go watch it. They pulled it up, and Sanjay Gupta thought it said the opposite and got schooled by dumbass DMT smoking Joe Rogan. Go watch it, guys. This happened. And it's real data. This fucking guy is spinning right now. You have to understand, he has displayed the worst, craziest versions of conspiracies and hasn't pointed out how they all sang from the same hymn book of it being safe and effective, and neither of those two things are true. You guys made two claims. Neither of them are true. Yes, some of us came up with 1,000 different theories of what the fuck is going to happen. The general consensus was not to trust it, not to just blindly trust what the CDC is telling you. And if there are some people that probably had their lives saved from that. I was speaking personally, just to put it out there, I was diagnosed with a heart condition when I was in high school, okay? The doctors were fucking stupid and probably didn't realize that it was related to a medication I was taking. And I tried to tell them I think it's related. And here we are a decade later, and I'm not taking the medication anymore, and my heart seems fine. But the fact of the matter is, I was diagnosed with a heart condition, one of which it's a misfiring node, and they said that there might be a problem with blood clots. Just living life, I might have an issue with blood clots. And then it turns out, we all know, the J&J was the first one called out for the blood clots. Fucking, I think AstraZeneca is like the next worst. And there are clots associated with each one of these. God forbid, where would I be dead had I listened to one of these fucking idiots? Probably. I probably would be miserable right now. One of these people that are fucked up in a wheelchair because they can't even walk without having a heart attack. Thanks, Fauci. Thank you, Destiny.
So getting a COVID infection is worse.
Exacerbates it.
Yeah, you have a higher likelihood of developing myocarditis than if you get the vaccine.
If you have COVID.
Yes.
So it's a COVID activated thing, not a vaccine activated thing.
Well,
yeah. So he's comparing some fucking numbers with he's talking about these old fucking decrepit people that couldn't handle probably getting the flu, having myocarditis problems. Yeah, I imagine that.
Oh, I mean, kind of.
Then now we have all of the fucking healthy people, the healthy young people you guys told to go get shot up with this bullshit. And that's the worst group when it comes to the heart issues from the vax, and least at risk for some heart issues related to COVID. That's the group.
I mean, both. It's like, I believe, I remember pericarditis and myocarditis. It's an inflammation of different parts of the heart, but it's an inflammatory response of your immune system.
Yes.
Yeah.
But both went through the roof. But you're saying
I wouldn't say they went through the roof. My understanding is myocarditis results from the vaccine. I want to say it was 7 for every 100,000 vaccines. It's very low. Number one. And number two, myocarditis is an acute condition. If you develop myocarditis, it goes away. That's not like you have it for the rest of your life and you're fucked. That's like maybe your heart is inflamed for maybe a week or two. And it's just like some inflammation. You're not dying.
Well, and this here, I would have to before, and again, this is an example of how I'm a little more careful maybe than some theorists or whatever, but there, depending on what sources you ask, I've heard from many sources in the medical field that say the version of myocarditis that you get from those things is a worse version that does not go away as quickly. So he can say it's just something that goes away and, it's fine, whatever. Okay, so why are we worried about it for the COVID virus? Why are you worried about all those people that had myocarditis due to COVID? It goes away.
You're not getting heart attacks. It's just like some inflammation. It happens. But the results of that it was far less bad, and this is not debated by any serious person ever. It is far less bad to get the vaccine than to get COVID.
Right.
Like you're always better off with whatever the outcomes from the vaccine were, even if there's a very, very low chance that you might develop it. Or there might have been some.
See, this is the thing. If you can probably make the numbers work to say that. You probably can. But the thing is, there are probably groups of people, and I said this at the beginning. I said, you know what? There probably some old people who they don't have good diets, they're not in good health, they haven't taken care of themselves, and maybe getting shot up might be their only chance at survival. That's possible. I even said that. But when you see stuff like the studies that show that 90% of the people that get hospitalized from COVID were low in like vitamin D and stuff. 90% like it's a closer correlation than the vaccine. If you're just nutritious, okay? If you just have a good diet, you are way less likely to end up in the hospital from it, according to the data. But no, go get shot up just in case. 90 some percent. It was something like 93 or 97%. The last thing I saw, if I'm not mistaken. People that are hospitalized had fucking shitty levels of vitamins in their body. You don't fucking take care of yourself. You people eat fucking McDonald's every day. And then tell me I need to be healthy by going to get shot up. Go fuck yourself.
More serious things that would happen. Oh, that's very hard to track for statistical reasons.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Goddamn.
Rockville, North America's largest rock festival returns in 2025 with Green Day.
There was neurological.
Green Day fucking sucks. They look like lesbians and they need to retire. Fuck off, Green Day.
Issues, severe neurological issues with the AstraZeneca, so severe that they pulled it off. The
AstraZeneca had some inflammation issues. Yeah, that was in the UK. Yeah, but that wasn't an mRNA vaccine, which is funny enough.
Yeah.
One thing that I'll say, and again, for all of these, there's like 10 hours of things that you could dive into.
Right.
One thing I'll say for like a statistic.
Guys, there were people that got completely Did you all see Patrick Bet-Davis had one of these people on his show? Patrick Bet-David? I forget. I think it's Bet-David. Anyway, the PBD podcast, they had these people on the show that were part of the clinical trials. Some of these people are wheelchair bound. They are wheelchair bound now. And they were telling everyone it's safe and effective. Guys, don't you see? Oh, I'm sure people in my chat get it. Destiny, don't you see? Don't you see how fucking stupid this is? He's so sure that the alternative side was wrong. He's so sure. And yet there's people from the fucking trials that are wheelchair bound. Their lives have been ruined.
Statistical anomaly, though, that is important to keep in mind for the mRNA vaccines. There were like billions of dosages of these given out. Okay. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that if I go live and I were to stream, if I were to talk to 1 million people and I were to say, the word flatulence, okay, within a day of me saying that to 1 million people, 2 or 3 people might die. Now, is it because I said it, or is it because there's so many people listening to me that maybe somebody dies afterwards because they do, right? When you look at things like VAERS, which is the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System or whatever.
So VAERS, listen to this shit, and I'm going to say something about VAERS too.
You can basically, anytime somebody has a bad reaction after a vaccine, it goes into this database, but that database has to be like analyzed to see what was it caused by the vaccine. Because anytime you vaccinate that many people, there are going to be people that are having issues all the time. You don't know who was caused by the vaccine.
Right.
Okay, so that's a fair point. That's a real point right there. The VAERS, everything that's reported to the VAERS system is not necessarily caused by the visaxizine. Okay, I don't want to say the word too much on here. This stream is probably not good for my page, but you know what? We're doing it. That is a fair point. The problem here is Destiny said every reaction gets listed on there. That's not true. Only the ones that are reported. The ones that are reported get put on there. And this is one thing I want to point out is that this is one of the points that they make is that the VAERS, it was, a bunch of people that they probably didn't get a side effect from it, but they were so, freaked out and people were coming up with these theories. So everyone was just reporting bullshit. They naturally had a stroke because they, eat fucking KFC 5 nights a week, but they blamed it on the vax and this and that. And a good argument or not a good one, but a common argument I heard a lot was that it's like conspiracy theorists listing shit on the site and stuff like that. Dude, the VAERS system, I got a whiff of this on social media, the VAERS system. I didn't really know. I had heard about VAERS, but I didn't really know what it was before 2020, when all this shit started going down. I started checking the VAERS, guys, within a few weeks or a month of the fucking rollout of the vaccines in the United States. Relatively soon, there were like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of reported side effects on here. My point with this is the first people that got the vaccine were people who would be more likely to be in denial about it being caused by the vaccine. The first people to get it aren't the people that are scared and are resistant to it and whatever. The first people to get it were the willing participants. And even those people who believed, you guys, hook, line, and sinker, that it's safe and effective and there's virtually nothing to worry about, those people are the ones getting the vaccine and going, hey, I feel like complete dog shit. And then the right side of their face becomes paralyzed. And they're like, I don't think this is normal. And I just got that damn injection. I should list this on VAERS. These people, the first ones were people that were enthusiastic about it. And even them in droves went to report this shit to the VAERS system. That is something I think that gives more credibility to some of these reportings, because you saw this very early on. You didn't just start seeing this when they fucking mandated it in certain places, New York and wherever, and where jobs were starting to force people to get it. Before all that, all those people you'd expect to report if they got the sniffles after the injection. You'd expect that out of all those people forced to get it. Not the first hundreds of thousands that were willing and encouraging other people to get it. Those people are not going to go home and feel like dog shit and say, I better report this to VAERS because these damn vaccine companies. No, they were like, oh, I feel a little bit shitty, but that means it's working. Damn, I make good points.
Which is important to keep in mind, yeah.
So here, which brings me to another question I have. So you did a very good job there of reciting statistics. When I studied politics, the first, I think first year, maybe second year, you have to do stats. And then, you know, I remember I had like a Southern guy and he's like, you can get a stat to prove anything. What I find amazing, and I said this to Rogan the other day, is I remember like,
Sorry, I'm screaming too much. Guys, look, I'm amped up about the shit. Get him DMS. Thank you. Bro, you have to understand, unfortunately, you know, I did my pre-recorded podcast. I started that shit a few years ago, and I didn't have as much momentum with it. I like doing the streaming shit. I've been waiting to fucking go off about some of this, and it's fucking bullshit. And the conversation gets twisted and misrepresented by some people. I don't even think Destiny is doing anything malicious or, you know, purposely trying to misrepresent anything. He is like, you know, it's like he's sort of like bought into the mainstream authority, the Democrat, you know, mainstream authorities. Okay, he just goes along with the fucking not exactly. No, he does question stuff, but he has a bias towards believing the fucking mainstream bullshit from the Democrats. Support Joe Biden. That's a good idea. Oh, we took him out, so now support Kamala. He's just like, yeah, okay, yeah. He has a propensity towards their bullshit.
like I used to watch Tony Blair. I don't know if you know what Question Period is, but it's like the British Parliament, you know, going on after the, and someone would ask him some like super hard question. He would leap up and he would have all the facts, and I think Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr. is his facts, and I'm like, if the facts are true, I mean, it's pretty compelling stuff. And we did this thing on immigration, and the you know, Homeland is like, well, 85% of the, you know, the people after their process, they come for their you know, they come for the meetings and whatever, and the Republicans, it's 90% don't come. And so, you know, facts, where are we getting our facts? And like when you debate, it seems like a lot of this, I've listed out all these guys, they rattle off facts. Here's this fucking thing, and they've got their rap, and they've done it a lot of times, so they know how to say it convincingly and well and with force. And I think a lot of people just go, oh, well, fucking Ben Shapiro said it, and he said it's 75%, and therefore it's 75%. It's always been 75%. But there seems to be your facts, my facts, and near the twain shall meet. There's the right, there's the left, and I don't know where they're coming from. And so there's no, like, you know, consensus on facts.
Yeah. This is another foundational thing. Fuck, so much of this, I get frustrated when I do politics because it's like there's so much groundwork. Like the difficult questions all are in learning kind of the frameworks, and then you can contextualize things.
There we go.
A fact doesn't really matter that much because a fact can be a fact. Well, it's not even so much that it can be manipulated. It can be, but true statements can lead you to untrue conclusions depending upon which selection of true statements you're.
He's making a good point here. I agree with this. This is a good point. Eddie Moretti. Oh.
Taking, right? And we could think in our minds of a million different examples, right? That I could go into school and I could say students that play video games past 11:30 at night. Video games will rot your mind's ability to learn in school, and you can tell that because all of them do worse on their tests, right? And I could study that and find that and not be true. And maybe I could even, you know, destroy a pro gamer in a debate. It's like explain how 94% of students that play video games at midnight all score in this percentile of test compared to these students that play video games only until 7 o'clock, and they right. And these are true facts, your true stats or whatever. But maybe somebody takes a look at this and they go, okay, these facts are true. But here's something else I discovered. Okay, like 95% of students that play video games past 11:30 p.m. Have parents that don't care how they do in school.
Don't drink this, whatever this is for. Don't buy it.
There's something wrong with you.
Right? So in actuality, that video game stat was kind of true, but it's not like if you took these kids and made them play less games, they do better in school. Their parents just don't care as much, right? And this type of thing is how a stat can exist and be a true stat, but because it's not properly contextualized and because people don't always understand, well, what is this stat really saying? People don't really know, like, what to make of it.
That's it. That's a fair point, but the problem is he won't see that point against the stats and data coming from his side. The safe and effective crowd, he won't apply that same logic to that side.
A really good real life example of this is
he'll be selective with it.
Our median wages when COVID was at its peak were huge, highest median wages we've ever had in this country. And then as COVID and the lockdown started to recede, our median wages started to plummet. And when you look at that, it's like, holy shit, like something is going on. Maybe the unemployment insurance or, you know, government, something is, we're getting fucked. But the thing is that if you take a step back and you think, okay, median worker wages, what question are we asking here? We're looking at the median, the middle point of the data of what the wages are of all of our workers. Well, during COVID, all the service workers and the poor people, they all got laid off. Okay. So the only people working were work from homes, people that were doing much better paying jobs.
White collar.
Exactly. And so when you drop that whole lower section of your economy out, your median wages, of course, grow. And then as they start to get jobs again, even though your median wages are falling, this is really good for the economy because they're jumping back into the market, right?
Eddie, yeah, you know what? I have to say, Destiny and this Vice channel, I'm just seeing it now. I'm not that familiar with this Vice channel, but Destiny for sure, his channel, over all the times that I've watched videos and stuff with him, and I especially notice it when I click on something and then I get in to take a shower and I get stuck listening to an ad while I have soap in my eyes, okay? They fucking have too many. I promise you guys, when I get my channel monetized, if that ever goddamn happens, I don't have enough followers yet, please hit the subscribe button. But I promise you, I swear on anything, I'm not gonna have my goddamn videos bombarded with these fucking ads. I don't know how you control it or whatever, but you know, as a from the studio side or whatever, I know there's an ad blocker and what, but I'm saying for my videos, I think you can control where the ads are and how often they. I swear to God, we're not gonna be bombarded with fucking ads throwing you off of the fucking conversation. It's so fucking stupid. It really does baffle me. People with like Destiny and people with huge numbers on their page. Can't you like cut the ads in half? Is it really going to fuck up your goddamn wallet that bad to not sacrifice the content for some fucking ad breaks?
And you can go to like St. Louis Fed median US weekly wages. You can look at all this data. You can see it. And it looks like something bad is happening, but it's not anything bad happening. You just have to contextualize a step. But you can see like very quickly you can get into trouble like looking at numbers. Sure. You're like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm actually looking at.
And how do you debate people when, you know, some of the names that we said there, when they just start rattling off facts and therefore this means this and therefore this means this. And you're just like, okay, well, no. It depends on, for me, it depends on the person, it depends on the audience, and it depends on the subject, and then it depends on my mood. Okay. So what's going on, yeah. So that's why, like earlier, I kind of joke where it's like, I don't know if I want to be mean or empathetic when you ask me it. But let's go through, like, okay, so it seems to me, obviously, Alex Jones you would be different than Ben Shapiro. Alex Jones seems more bullyish, and Ben Shapiro seems smarter. Jordan Peterson is different than Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
So how would you...
So like, for instance, if I'm debating Alex Jones, okay, in my mind, he's going to be one of the most out there people. I might spend the entirety of the debate. It might be over January 6th. And it might be, hey, who was the first guy to break into the Capitol building?
January 6th. This is Destiny's favorite subject.
He's going to say Antifa, or he's going to say the cops let him in. And I'm going to say it was Dominic Spizzola or whatever the guy who was arrested. It's a Proud Boy. It's on video camera. We got in times. We see all of this. He's
Eddie Moretti. What I'm saying is that I launched Vice News on YouTube. I did the deal and created the logo and supervised the content. Really? Is that true? That's cool. Bro, there's a bunch of different shit from Vice that I've watched that I've enjoyed. I got nothing against Vice News. Whatever. They might have a slant or something. I mean, it's not like I don't really follow them that much, but I've seen plenty of shit from Vice that's interesting and, you know, worth the time.
He's going to disagree with that, and we're going to spend 30 minutes with me repeating that same question. We need to be in the same factual reality. This is on video. We shouldn't be debating this, okay? And it will be there for 30 minutes at least, arguing that one thing. That might be how I would approach that. Like, we need to be grounded in the same factual reality before we start debating second order, third order, more abstract things.
Right. Ben Shapiro.
For Ben Shapiro, it would depend on the subject matter. I had a conversation with him earlier this year that I regret because I should have went way more aggressively. But it would probably be more of an appeal to like factual foundations to build up arguments, because he's more kind of that archetype of like the facts over feelings debater.
They seem very factual.
Yeah, so I would probably fight back more on the like, hey, you're bringing up like this particular stat here. Well, what about this here? You might bring up this event here. You might say that Trump was good because he moved the embassy in to Jerusalem and Israel. And you may think that was a good thing. But what about when he agreed with Netanyahu to pull back all of the UNRWA funds or whatever from the Gaza Strip, and when they were and the tensions became inflamed because he moved that embassy? Was that good? Like, I might bring up,
you have
like,
to do a lot of research.
Yeah, for sure, for that. Yeah.
Andrew Tate.
I'm probably just gonna try to bully him and make him look stupid because his whole thing is like the bravado and the masculinity. So when I argued with him on a Twitter space, he wanted to bring up Tucker Carlson leaving Fox News. I was like, do you even know why he left? And he'd be like, well, because he was doing. I was like, no, you have no fucking idea. You're an idiot. Why are you talking?
I watched that in real time, and let me say, I'm with Destiny here. I'm sorry if there's any Tate fans around. I don't fucking trust Andrew Tate. Every fucking video where he's getting arrested and doing the fucking top G, doing all these fucking Illuminati symbols, that man is not to be trusted.
Thinking about this, right? It would be more. I wouldn't do that with Ben Shapiro because I would look unhinged.
Right.
But with Andrew Tate, when he's all about like bravado and masculine, then I would do it for him. Yeah.
Right. And why? Like, wasn't it advertisers, Tucker Carlson? Why was he?
He left because he was intentionally misinforming the public about Dominion voting systems, and he knew he was doing it the whole time, and all the text messages that leaked showed that. And he probably left Fox News because it was a massive liability for them.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And so you have to you're like,
I could go off. We gotta get a little forward here because we're running out of time.
Rocky. You have to sort of get all the you're training all the time. You have to get fill your brain with all this stuff so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan. I mean, he's a blowhard.
For Piers, you're not so much fighting with him. You just have to learn the format. It took me a few times to learn, but like when you're on the show, if somebody says something, you got to make the crazy facial expression so that he's like, "Why say you doing this?" And then when you respond, you have to have snappy, punchy one-liners, maybe a joke, something to hit home with the audience. But like, if I'm on Piers Morgan, I'm never saying like, "Well, you have to understand the statistical analysis of this." Blah 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 blah. I'm probably gonna say something like, "If that was true, wouldn't you expect to see this, you idiot?" And that would be it. And I would get like my laugh, and that would be it. Yeah.
All right. Jordan Peterson.
For Jordan, I tried to appeal to his humanity more, where it was like, does this conspiracy really make sense with this, whatever? I think if I were to do it now, it would be more of a similar approach to Ben, where it's like, let's just look at these facts. Like, isn't this more likely? It would be something.
He's
like
sort of
that.
changed a bit, Jordan Peterson, recently.
He has changed quite a bit over the past few years.
On God, and was he always really religious?
He's always been he's always been pretty religious, yeah.
All right. Well, now I haven't even gotten into any of these things, but speaking of debate,
there was another point here, and I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but there's another. Well, let's see if it gets.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
When you're watching people argue, what do you look for when you're listening to them arguing? Like, what is more convincing to you, or what do you think?
See, here's my problem. I love it, and people always try to nail me down on politics. I know a lot about politics only because I'm old. I love the game. I love talking to both sides. I love, I believe a lot of it is bread and puppet theater. I believe a lot of this is, because look, I can go on for hours, but anyway, it's not a democracy. It's a republic with two-party system. But both parties are always in power, and there's a lot of money at stake, and the American government is made to do nothing and do it very slowly. And, but there's all of this political brouhaha. And if you look at this electoral cycle, I called it was going to be crazy. I didn't know how crazy. 3 assassination attempts of an incumbent president, saying I'm not going to even run, as well as all the other fucking bull goose stuff. I love it.
Okay.
Right. And when people debate, I love to see. I'm really impressed, to go back to Bobby Kennedy, because he reminded me of Tony Blair, in that you believe what they say. You believe that, by the way, it could be total fucking bullshit.
Okay.
But you believe what they say. And look, I do have respect for people who can debate, because it's hard. It's a man. But this leads me to a question. Do you believe that you can change someone's mind through debate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's a varied and variable question. It really depends a lot on a lot of things.
All right, boys, who we betting on?
The sports book for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
From the person as well.
Don't roll with them.
It depends on the person. It depends on their environment. It depends on who you are. It depends on the subject, right? Like we have debates all the time in our life, arguments that we're trying to convince people of things. It might be, should we do pizza or Chinese tonight? Right? You can make arguments for it.
Eddie Moretti, this isn't the most compelling conversation on his end, the interviewer, but is it just me or is it a question mark? I don't know. He needs a better set.
Might be like, should we have a child now or in 2 years, or should we buy a house? Right? You have arguments with people in your life all the time. The founding fathers wrote under pen names when they were doing the Federalist Papers to try to persuade the American public to join the federal government.
Question mark is not nearly as cool as a skull and crossbones and some hats.
So people will say like debating is pointless, arguing is pointless. Like, no, some of it is like for showmanship and some of it is done for sure. But that's true of everything. Some things can be stupid and some things can be meaningful.
Yeah.
One thing that I think people discount a lot is a lot of people's political and social beliefs are held prisoner by the people that they're surrounded with. People don't respect that force enough, right? That I'm a very independent person from my family, from communities, everything else. I'm my own online politically. So I have the flexibility and freedom. I can have whatever opinion I want. I think that Rittenhouse should have walked. I thought that was totally fair. I think that January 6th.
Dude, let me put it out there just to prove I'm a Destiny fan here. The fucking the defense of Rittenhouse was impressive to me. Even all of the other fucking Democrats that were appalled that Destiny was defending Rittenhouse, he stayed true to the game with that one, and probably with most of the stuff. The dude is smart and he debates well. I just don't agree with some of his takes.
This was insurrection. That was insane. I'm a big Second Amendment supporter, and I'm a big First Amendment supporter. Like, there's a lot of opinions I have, but I have no social pressure on me in terms of like people that would disown me for something, right? But there might be a person where I might.
Thank you, Eddie Moretti. I appreciate that. I am my show is weird. I am weird. I will probably keep it up. Thank you, sir. Please hit the subscribe. I'll be on here. I cover a bunch of different subjects and stuff on here. I got parody songs. I do my own parody songs and videos and shit on my channel. So yeah, please check it out, guys. Got a lot of stuff on there. Good timing for a Destiny fan to walk in. Is that you? What's up, this donut? How's it going? I am legitimately. I'm a fan of Destiny. I've watched a bunch of his shit, and I don't fucking hate watch or just watch to disprove some of the shit he's saying. He's smart with some stuff. He's made some really good points. As I've said a bunch of different times, this is the motherfucker responsible for busting Boogie for faking cancer. This man deserves some respect and credit, okay? No matter what you think about what he's said about other subjects, I think he deserves some credit for some of the shit he's done. What's my opinion on the false slate of electors plot? My opinion is that's Destiny's favorite subject in the entire world. No, yeah, it didn't look good. I don't know, Fruit Loop, is that your name? Yeah. Oh, Foop Loop. Thank you for checking out the channel, by the way. Anyone that's new around here, please hit the subscribe button and whatever. I do need the support. Hit the like, all that shit. I'm struggling here. The algorithms, they don't like me. No, so I'm not a big fan of the alternate slate of electors plot. I thought, to be real, and I've said this on here before, I think by the time it got to January 6th, I think it was stupid to have any schemes to try to stop it. And these fucking people that broke into the Capitol LARPing, actually thinking that you're going to overthrow the government. There's plenty of stupidity to go around from January 6th, okay? I think at that point, when you're putting forward a false slate of electors to try at a last-minute thing to stop praying Mike Pence is going to do the right thing, that's just like, guys, look, we're here, and now Trump has got another term coming in. Like, why fucking, you're really going to fight it till the last minute that you can? It's just like, come on, dude. The shit didn't work out in the courts. You didn't have everything set up and the right attorneys to prove some of the fucking crazy theories you guys thought happened and stuff. It's like, let it go. Let it go. We don't need to hang Mike Pence, even though that, you know what? It would be funny if it happened. I don't want anyone to do that, but it'd be funny. Okay? But that doesn't need to happen. Unnecessary.
Make the most compelling argument in the world for why the vaccine was good or the vaccine was bad, but his community, his family and his friends might have a very strong opinion on that. And if they change their mind on it openly, they might lose that whole community of people. They're never changing their mind on that because it's too much of a risk, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big force that has to be respected. So when you ask me, like, well, how do you persuade some people out of some things? If somebody was like a fundamentalist Muslim in a family of fundamentalist Muslims living in a community of fundamentalist Muslims or any religion, I'm never changing his mind on religion. He would lose everything if he would acknowledge what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right.
But if we were debating like the strongest like Harry Potter character, maybe I could win that debate very easily, because who cares?
See, this is the position I feel like I'm in too. I'm not loyal to some fucking political party or a political candidate. I can truly think whatever the fuck I want. I told you guys I'd probably vote for Trump, but I was talking shit about him like every night on here, calling him out for stuff, as I did Kamala. I think I'm probably more centered than some people would give me credit for here. But yeah, I'm not captured by friends or viewers or something that I can't have I can't express an opinion that I hold.
There's Stobby,
is it?
Look, I like to have my mind changed or confirmation bias blown out, or like, for example, I'll give my one conspiracy theory that I went down the rabbit hole is so I was born in 1969 and moon landing, and I came to
isn't that horrible though? It is, but the thing is, I don't see enough evidence to show that Trump knew it was a lie or thought it was a lie that the election was stolen. This is my problem. Is Destiny and I've watched Destiny argue the shit about January 6th 1,000 fucking times. Please believe me. There's some shit I've probably forgotten, but I've heard it so much. It's like I get it. But the thing is, I don't see enough evidence, and Destiny is like 100% sold that Trump knew the election wasn't stolen, but he tried to stop it anyway because he thought he could stop it, and he's a piece of shit for basically destroying democracy by doing that. I don't see enough evidence there. I see that Trump had millions of supporters saying that they had issues with the validity of the election. I'm sure Trump felt obligated to do something and probably believed a lot. This is the most, if you believe the left-wing people, if you believe Democrats, Trump is the most egotistical motherfucker ever. He argued over whether the ratings were right for his show and stuff. It's like, there's like no doubt in my mind that this man actually believed he didn't lose the election fair and square. So I think to that point, there's part of me that's a little bit more forgiving to say, okay, Rudy Giuliani found all these fucking people that worked at the poll sites that worked with the people counting the votes and stuff, saying that, oh, they all wore like a tag saying if you were Republican, Democrat, or Independent. And the people with the Republican tags that would contest some shit that happened with the ballot, they were like getting kicked out and stuff like that. And multiple people testifying to crazy shit like that. The fucking people counting the mail-in ballots, the women, the Indian women who have no obvious reason to simp for Trump. All of those women testifying saying, yeah, we counted the ballots. We were counting the mail-in ballots. Some of them didn't even have dates on them. Some of them, the names didn't match. The fucking dates were printed wrong or whatever. And that the number for the ballot, like the number would be 123, and then the next number is 124, 125, 126. They were getting the ballots in sequential order. It's statistically impossible stuff. All of this shit is happening, and people are circulating all this shit online. I'm sure Trump bought some of that, even whether it's true or not. Okay, it's people signing sworn affidavits saying that all of this stuff happened, legally liable for whatever claims they're making and stuff, and they are testifying saying that shady shit happened. Was that enough to change the results? I don't fucking know. But it's like, to that extent, when there's just so much, that to me gives a little bit more leeway for people doing some stupid stuff. And, maybe I'm grading it on a curve and whatever. Maybe I wouldn't accept some of this shit from Black Lives Matter or something, but it's like, I kind of get it. I get it. If you actually think democracy's being destroyed because the system doesn't have the proper protocol in place to stop it from being stolen, then maybe you should put in a false slate of electors. Maybe you should break into the fucking... no, breaking in is stupid. I mean, what do you think? You're going to beat up some of the cops and then that's going to stop? I mean, come on. But that's where, I think it's horrible, the false slate of electors thing. It was stupid and a probably bad legal theory and had, attorneys telling him it was okay and whatnot. But it's like, that's... just on the surface of everything and knowing what I know, it wasn't enough to stop me from voting for him. So there we are. I know I've got long-winded there, but anyway, and I'm officially on here too late, but I'm waiting for this other point. I was hoping Destiny would bring it up about FEMA.
To it because we did a TV show about the factual thing that these kids were hired to make this TV show and that they went down to make it for NASA. And I think NASA did it, I think, as a fail-safe. And we sort of had found the papers. And so we made this TV show about it anyway. And when I was looking at it, you're like, okay, now, China can't do what they had all their fuck ups with their moon landing, and India had a problem. Everyone's having these problems. It was 2024. We have supercomputers and stuff. In 1969, we had calculators, and we went. And not only did we land, and then have to go up and get this thing that's circling the moon and then come back. We filmed videos. They can't do it today. they can't send video back to Dave like on a feed. So I got all into it, and I looked at the whole thing and whatever. And I met this guy named Taylor Wilson, who's a very famous physicist, and he's like, look, Shane, like I've seen the fucking moon rocks, I've looked at this and that. He gave me a very sane answer, like, oh yeah, sorry. And so even though I had convinced myself for years, and I have like 100 different arguments, when somebody's sane and who's like an expert in it goes, look, dude, this is what it is. So I do like to be convinced. I don't know what my point was on that. Just like that's
Open to having your mind changed.
Yeah, I'm open to having my mind changed. And I think in debate, I think, I love to have some. I'll tell you one more story and we'll get into something else. I heard Karl Rove and Rahm Emanuel when they were both respective, heads there. So then.
Mother Superior?
Motherfucker.
I thought joining the IRA was the noblest thing a person could do.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 per month on car insurance, you're getting ripped off. Guys.
How they got involved. And Karl Rove said, I wasn't political in college, but when I came out, the Republicans stay on message and they rally behind each other. So I chose them because they'll stick with it. And so I think, and this here's my question, the Republicans seem better at messaging and debating right now.
Who are all these people in my chat? They have evidence of what? You don't see the evidence, guys. Please, if look, I'm completely willing to read and respond to critiques and stuff, but I gotta, like, when I'm rattling stuff off and then you guys respond to one point I made, it's like I don't know what you're responding to. If you can like put it in the message, no offense. I mean, really, I appreciate the interaction and wanting to have the conversation, guys. I'm open to having my mind changed about whatever. So you don't see evidence because you don't read any of the indictments. Evidence is out there, but you're just ignorant. Are you guys? So I feel like this guy's talking about evidence that Trump was subverting democracy, and this I'm assuming is someone saying there's evidence it was stolen. I don't know what. Are you effing blind or crazy? I don't know what you guys are like. What point are you guys responding to? Okay, he was told by most of his close advisors. Guys, this is another look. I've heard Destiny say this 1,000 times. It's not enough for me. Every time this gets brought up, Destiny goes, he was told by his advisors. He was told by the FBI, the DOJ, the this, the that. You guys are listing fucking sources that are, by Trump's account, deep state sources. These are the same three-letter agencies that Trump has been talking about not trusting and that they're deep state, and you're surprised that he doesn't believe them. This is the thing. Because he is told by family, the FBI, DOJ, his mom, who the fuck ever, that doesn't mean he believes that. So all those people can say, oh, no, saying it's the election was stolen, that's bullshit. Well, we know this because of this, this, and that. That doesn't mean he believes them. That doesn't prove. I know what you're all getting at, mens rea, Trump's state of mind for this, saying he knows it was a lie, that it was stolen. The election wasn't stolen, and Trump knows that because his advisors and people in the FBI told him. Guys, that does not mean he believes them. How is that like so? I truly don't understand why this is like Destiny, and no offense, but people that listen to him, they think this is like the nail in the coffin that the FBI and Trump advisors told him it wasn't stolen. So we know Trump knows it wasn't stolen. That's like it. Come on. I'm sorry, but that's not, that doesn't, no.
Party than the Democrats. The Democrats seem to be sort of everywhere and, not really on message. Whereas,
yeah, people he appointed. I know. I've heard all these talking points, and not saying that some of this isn't like it's like, I'm not saying it's a stupid argument, but that doesn't prove his state of mind. That doesn't prove Trump could think that they flipped on him. Trump could think that they got bought out. Trump could think that they got, fucking threatened by deep state actors or something. Guys, that doesn't mean you're not inside Trump's head because someone told him, someone told Trump it wasn't stolen. What does that really prove? That proves nothing.
Republicans, even if what they're saying is not true, it doesn't matter, but they stay on message and they hammer it there. Immigration being the perfect example. What do you think of that, debate-wise or messaging-wise?
So this is why I'm so unhinged over the past few months, ever since the first Trump assassination attempt, when it comes to dealing with conservatives, is I think that right now conservatives are enjoying a dramatically lower standard expectation of behavior, and that allows them to appear more unified and more coherent on everything they say, because it's basically as long as they show up and they're not dead, they get like props for.
Guys, and let me be clear. Look, I think I know there's some people, there's newer people in here, and please hit the subscribe button. I'm on here all the time, and I'm willing to hear people out and, hear critiques in the chat and stuff. So please hit the subscribe. Give me a little support here, because I'm really trying to be open-minded and fair about this shit. Let me be clear, and I'm sure there's some new people in here. I don't even believe the Trump assassination attempt where he got shot in the ear. I don't even believe that's true. I'm not a full-fledged Trump supporter. I used to be, all right? But we have to be inside someone's head, proof conspiracy. I don't know if you're saying that sarcastically or something. That I don't even think that that's true. I just the issue with January 6th, okay? The way Destiny lays everything out, and I've heard it 1,000 times. Those of you that are familiar, you know what I'm talking about. He lays everything out, the false slate of electors, then sitting there and watching for 5 hours, and the hang Mike Pence stuff, and he amped up the crowd during a speech before, and the one quote about staying peaceful, that's not enough, and I've heard it all. And I get there that it might be true, guys. I'm trying to be so fair here, and this is truly what I think. I'm not pandering to some people being in here because that are possibly Destiny listeners or whatever. But the point is, it might be true that it was a scheme to subvert democracy. That might be true. I'm saying that as someone that voted for him. It might be true. Unfortunately, I just think that, given all the facts and what Destiny puts forward as the narrative for this, I just don't think there's enough to really put the nail in the coffin on this issue. I don't think there's enough. When it gets to specifically when Destiny starts off the argument talking about Trump's language and charging people up and telling people it was stolen and you're going to have the country stolen from you and all this shit. He starts naming all these quotes, and it just like, you could pull that out of any fucking politician's speech. When he lays forward the argument with January 6th against Trump, it's too, I'm sorry, but it is just too vague for me. Not that he's being vague or slippery with his argument, trying to fool somebody. My point is that I could see this, all of the facts that Destiny puts forward in the narrative, I could see that applying to someone that was trying to subvert democracy and they knew they lost an election but didn't want to leave the White House and all that shit. I can see that, but unfortunately, you can apply that same, everything that happened, you can apply to a guy who truly thinks that the election was stolen from him based on all this video evidence of shit and testimony and all this shit going on, circulating on fucking Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere else. He's seeing all this shit and all the politically charged language. It's like, how do you stop a January 6th thing from happening without stepping on the rights of everyday people, without trying to control speech, with like none of the language? There's no quote from Trump telling people to go in, break into the Capitol and or fight police, try to stop it by breaking in, at least delay it a little bit by breaking in. Guys, it'd be really crazy if you guys broke in there. We don't have anything like that. All he says is the election's being stolen. Da-da-da-da-da. The country's going to be fucked. Yeah, this is fucked up. They're stealing the election from you. That's what it looks like to me. Hey, that's fucked up. Make your voices peacefully and patriotically heard. So you have a call for peace. you have no call for violence. You have no quote from Trump to point to and say, oh, well, look, he said this. You can't undo that by saying stay peaceful, but he told them to hang Mike Pence. He told them to break in. How do you do those things and remain peaceful? You don't have those other quotes. So unfortunately, we're stuck in this situation where it's like, it's a lot of shit that's up for interpretation. If I even had like, and this wouldn't be proof of what's going on in Trump's head, but if we even had an email, a text, something, or some recording of Trump even saying, yeah, I don't think it's stolen, but we got to stop this from happening. Or I don't think it was really stolen, but my supporters do, so I have to do this. We don't have anything like that. So unfortunately, I'm stuck in a spot where I would be more than willing to condemn Trump for what happened on January 6th, all of it. The violence and the attempt to subvert democracy and all this shit, I'd be on board with agreeing with all of that. But unfortunately, I feel that is more at risk of trampling on the rights of other people to have free speech and to challenge an election in the future. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm open to being convinced otherwise. But look, I'm telling you guys, I've heard Destiny. I've watched him debate Andrew Wilson. I've watched him debate Jesse on Fire. I've watched him debate 100 fucking people, and I've watched him just spout off about it on his stream. I'm just like, I'm not convinced to the point where I can say, yeah, you know what? We have to stop someone from having politically charged language the day of the certification of the vote. You can't tell someone that the election's being stolen. You're trampling on free speech. There's very off the top of my head, there's very few points in the scheme that Destiny puts forward where I go, okay, yeah, we should never allow that to ever happen again. That singular point. And he puts a bunch of these points together, and you can interpret it a certain way, but it's difficult, guys. I'm in a hard spot. I don't trust Trump anymore. The assassination attempt was enough for me. That was not real. I don't believe that. I don't. I'm sorry. I could get into the whole scheme of what I think is really going on here. It's probably better saved for another night. And I'm on too late. I'm going to be late going to my friend's house. Let me play one or two more minutes of this, and I'm probably going to get out of here. Please, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe. As you can see, I'm trying to interact with some of the points in the chat and stuff. I'm open for having my mind change, and I'm really trying to be intellectually honest with all this shit. So please, I'm not pandering to anybody. Give me a little support here. I've been deleted a couple times from YouTube
for making a good argument or doing a good thing. That if I were people make fun of how Kamala talks, but if I were to give you like a paragraph of basically any Trump answer to any question ever, it's incoherent mumbo jumbo nonsense. But it's like
I agree. He's got me there.
So it's kind of like funny. I don't know if you watched recently. Did you see his interview? I just watched on the plane flying here this morning actually with Bloomberg yesterday. No. My God. There was that. There are so many interviews that he does where he doesn't answer anything meaningfully at all. But it's like there's no expectation on that side. So if a Democrat messes something up, everybody will jump on them. But for the Republicans, there's no standard.
Well, everybody jumps on everybody.
Well, but it's so like for instance, if I were to point to like objective fact, okay, there has not been ever in the history of the United States a majority party in the House of Representatives that's lost their majority speaker. But the Republicans managed to do it in the past few years when they were the majority party in the House because they could, because McCarthy was making deals with Democrats or whatever, and then he got kicked. And it's like, what's happening? This is a failure in governance, right? Donald Trump was when it came to governance, couldn't get anything done. He failed on his repeal of the ACA. He couldn't get any major legislation through Congress. He kind of had his tax thing. And everybody in the Republican Party now is either a rhino or they're like, Pledge of Allegiance to Donald Trump full through and through with no question whatsoever. And so when you're in that environment, the Democrat Party has become kind of like a bigger tent party where there's a lot of different kind of people or coalitions in there. And the Republican Party is like, it's Donald Trump through and through. So they have so much more leeway on all the things they can say and defend. As long as they're allegiant to Donald Trump, they're good. But on the Democrat side, you're trying to balance like the Israeli, Palestinian, the Gaza people. You're trying to balance, your black voters, your Latino voters, your minority. You're trying to balance your mainstay, like left wing, like your center left liberals, your unions, your There's just a lot more that you're kind of like juggling there.
What I'm referencing particularly is like right or wrong, and I've had this debate with people. I did a thing on immigration. Not that I'm an expert, but we talked to all the border guards. We talked to the people on the Homeland panel. We talked to the immigration panel. We talked to everybody. And the
mood. I don't know. Is that censored? Is your name actually censored, or is that how you typed it out? Mood. I appreciate that. Yeah, bro. I cover all kinds of shit on here, and I do appreciate Destiny and his supporters. I mean, look, Destiny's a smart dude. I keep an open mind. Again, I voted for Trump. I'm all over the fucking place here and just trying to sort things out. I at least try to not pretend that I know something I don't know. My mind is open to hearing arguments and whatever. And I do like interacting with other people on these issues because I don't know exactly what to think with some of it. So yeah, dude, I appreciate the kind words.
The Republican message, which they hit time and time again, they stay on message, and open borders, and they're letting them in, the criminals, and all this stuff. And then you talk to exactly like what you just said. You talk to the other side, and they're like, "Well, it's nuanced, and it's this, and Mexico changed their constitution, so they have to be here, and so we let them out. They all come for their processing." And all.
The assassination attempt being illegitimate. So, God damn it, guys, I'm already on too late. Can we talk about that another night? I've talked about that on here. It just looked like a pro wrestling event for me. Can I say that? And I'm not saying that the firefighter didn't die. I do think that is true. But the fact that Trump's ear has like no damage, I've watched the video and stuff, and the different angles. Look, something about the fact that Trump gets hit in the ear and he puts his hand up and then goes down to the floor. And then all this blood pours down his face. So he's got 2 streaks of blood. So the blood is supposed to be pouring. And then he stands back up and you can see the ear and there's no blood dripping or anything. When I first saw conspiracies circulating that it wasn't real, I went back to watch the assassination attempt video. And I was saying to myself, I know this is real. It has to be real. And I'm going to look at the video, and the proof that it's real is going to be that if you slow it down, which I did, and you zoom in, which I did, you're going to see blood dripping from Trump's ear after he stood up because it's visible and he's not covering his ear anymore. You're going to see blood dripping. So we'll know for sure it's not just a blood pack that he smashed on the side of his face to fake an injury. We'll know that because I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to see the blood dripping, and I go there and it's not there. So the only time blood dripped on his face was when he's down behind the podium and no one's looking. Okay. Then the ear looks completely undamaged. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Send me whatever pictures you want. Please, someone send me a picture where his ear actually looks damaged. I'd love to see it. Okay, and I hate, you guys have to know I don't want to think this. I want to be on board. Fight. I want to be in that. Okay, I want to be in that club, and I just can't. I can't honestly do that. It's fucked up. I voted for Trump this is my 3rd time voting for him. Don't you guys know that I want to believe that that's real? You fucking Democrats are just trying to kill our president. He's the biggest badass ever. He got shot and he stood back. You guys have to know I want to say all that shit, right? But I'm really being true to myself here. Didn't he show it on Joe Rogan? That's the thing. Go look up, guys. I'd love if I could be on here till 10:30. We go to the Rogan podcast and I play you the clip where he talks about the ear, and Trump basically tries to change the subject. He's like, yeah, I got it. It grazed my ear. Yeah. So anyway, the immigrants. It's like basically what he did. He didn't show it. No one showed any damage. That's the thing. As a shooter wasn't a Democrat. And I'm not claiming he was. I'm saying that people are saying that, and I would love to be a part of that group. He did donate to a Democratic PAC, which I kind of think speaks more to his intentions than the fact that he is registered as a Republican supposedly was. I've never paid for any. I have 1 Trump shirt and 2 Trump hats. Those are all gifts. I've never bought 1 piece of Trump merch, and I voted for him 3 times. This guy donated money to a fucking Democrat PAC supposedly. So even if it was $13, it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how he was registered. I was making a point explaining what other people say, and I'd love to be on that Trump train, that same train. All right. Well, look, the other point, I really have to get off here because I'm late. I was supposed to be at my friend's place at 9:30 and we're 1 minute past. So I got to get out of here. But the other point that you will see in this, which I was saying is kind of funny that this was delayed being released. Destiny makes another point against conspiracy shit, saying that Trump, the claims about FEMA and the storms were all bullshit, proved to be bullshit or something like that. And we now know, since this is after this interview was filmed and before this interview came out, we found out that there were emails, right, between people at FEMA saying to skip Trump supporter houses when you're going around scouting out places that people need assistance, to skip the houses that are Trump supporters. Yeah, that's real. So this is another one of the points that that didn't age well with this fucking conversation here. Anyway, guys, I fucking hate to do it. I have plans. I really do have to get out of here. But I'll be back on tomorrow night. We'll get into something interesting tomorrow night. I swear. I'm all over the place with different topics. So please, if you're interested at all, and again, even if we're not talking about politics, if you want to get in the chat to confront me about something with Trump or whatever night, go ahead and feel free to get in here because I love to talk about it. I'll even do some call-ins a few nights. So we've done that a few times on here. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dark Times with your boy, Dark Match Steve, your little boy toy, your little personal twink. That's me. I hope you guys have had a good night. Let me closing out tabs here. What an idiot. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a good night. I will be back on tomorrow night. Should be on by 8 o'clock. I'll probably be on more like 7:30 tomorrow. So anyway, who knows what the fuck we're getting into. We covered trending disabilities last night. Go look at last night's stream. Go look at any of them. We're all over the place over here. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I appreciate all the support. Dutch Duke and Keith Yaher, thank you guys for the financial donations. All I need really from you guys is the clicks. Please hit the subscribe and the like button and all that shit. If you do want to donate, just last minute thing here, just so I can upgrade to premium StreamYard and I'll be able to stream other places. And I'll try to put, some of this money back into the show. My PayPal is Dark Match and my fucking Venmo is Dark Match Steve. So if you want to throw a few dollars my way, it will be very appreciated. So otherwise, thank you guys for the support. For real, hats off, Scott Scarborough, Jeff Cron, all my normals, my regulars in here. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody that stumbled across this. Again, I am a fan of Destiny, so I'm not trying to just put the man down here. He has some good points, and he's a good debater. So, but anyway, fucking, I love you. I love slutting it up for you on here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye, lovers.